What's up, YouTube and Wrestling Universe? Does anyone remember the days when a wrestling pay-per-view began at 8 p.m. Eastern and lasted 2 hours? With that said, I'm here to post predictions for the Backlash, which takes place tonight at 7 p.m. with the pre-show on as we speak. I'll probably just tie this in with the review, but the show takes place June 14th, 2020 from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, and it has a total of 8 matches on the card. We started off with the pre-show match, which is taking place right now. I tuned in a little late, 42 minutes into the show. Kevin Owens commentary, and he took out Angel Garza as he tried to get involved, leading to a distraction, giving Apollo Crews the win over Andrade. A surprise here. I expect the Crews to retain since he just recently become the champion. The quality of the match since I tuned in late. I'll start with Sheamus versus Hardy. I think Jeff Hardy will take the win in this. Not much more to say. I honestly don't care about this match. But Randy Orton versus Edge, I would say that I think they hyping the match as the greatest match ever. Is going to be a disappointment. Both men are capable of a good match, but you shouldn't call a match the greatest ever before it even takes place. I think Edge will come out on top, but I could see Orton giving us a rubber match, maybe at SummerSlam. Bayley and Sasha versus Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss versus the Iconics. At first, I wanted to go with the Iconics for the win, but I think it makes more sense for Bayley and Sasha to retain. We have Asuka's Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship, and I think Asuka will retain him. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship, and I'll go with Drew McIntyre to retain, thanks to Lana in some way. It's likely this will be inadvertently, but I can see Lana causing some type of distraction. And for the WWE Championship, we have Braun Strowman in a handicap match versus Miz and John Morton, and I think there'll be some dissension in the ranks that causes Braun Strowman to get up and retain. Also added to the show for the World Tag Team Championships was the Profits versus the Viking Raiders. And please let this be the end of this. I'm hoping that we get new tag team champions so we can move on to something more serious with the titles. I'm not sure how close we are to AOP returning, but anything is better than the Street Profits. As the show begins, we start with Bayley and Sasha backstage, and they tease the split up. We're starting with the Women's Tag Team Championship match, and the match starts off with Nikki Cross, Billie Kay, and Bayley all in the ring. Interesting thing I noticed is they have teased all three of these teams breaking up in the past. As a fan of the Iconics, I want them to become the champions, but I am curious what we could get from them if they were singles competitors with Peyton as the face and Billie Kay as the heel. At the end of the match, we get a twist of bliss. As Alexa goes for the pin, Sasha slides into the ring and rolls her up, and Bayley and Sasha wind up retaining the championship. Michael Cole then goes to call them the Golden Role Models. We see earlier today when Braun Strowman enters the arena. And next up is Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. I do hope Sheamus turns out to be proven to not be the redheaded guy with the beard. It would make me a little more interested in this feud. I've never been much of a Sheamus fan, and I'm even less of a Jeff Hardy fan. Sheamus winds up getting the win with the Brogue Kick, and the match was okay. My question for everyone is, what's your favorite Sheamus match? I personally will not be buying the Best of Sheamus DVD anytime in the near future. We get Miz and Morrison backstage with Kayla Braxton, announcing that if they win the match tonight, there'll be a single and not a co-champion. Otis then walks in and announces that he may come later tonight. We have Nia Jax versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship next up, and it ends in a double counter. The match was okay, not the greatest match ever. That's coming later in the night. Next up, MVP is in the back on the phone getting ready for tonight for when Lashley wins the championship. Lana winds up showing up. Next up, we get Braun Strowman versus the Miz and Morrison in the 2-on-1 handicap match for the Universal Championship. Apparently, Miz and Morrison decided to turn into a boy band instead of rappers with their new music video. It's a quick match, honestly, and the story of the match is that John Morrison had a chance to be champion, but the Miz broke up his pin attempt, leading to a power slam. Braun Strowman retains. Kayla Braxton is backstage with AJ Styles, who says on SmackDown, "We will have a celebration," and Daniel Bryan isn't phenomenal. Then next up for the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Before the match starts, MVP distracts McIntyre, allowing Bobby Lashley to lock in the full Nelson and get the advantage. Lashley pretty much dominated the match until Lana winds up coming out and claims that Bobby Lashley cheated, leading to Lashley fall and Drew McIntyre retaining. Street Profits and the Viking Raiders are going at it on the outside, and they accidentally bust up Braun Strowman's car, and then they continue to fight backstage. The Raw Tag Team Championship match was supposed to be next up. Eventually, all four men are beat up, and a ninja group comes up on motorcycles, and the leader turns out to be Akira Tozawa, who winds up challenging them. He's later joined by a giant black ninja, and the Viking Profits run and start fighting each other again. This to me was a huge waste of time and shows all cinematic matches are good or entertaining, and because of all the actual matches been canceled for tonight. Next up, we have Randy Orton versus Edge, and they basically say that the match will have special effects and enhance our viewing pleasure. We're getting the voice of the Fink introduce Edge and Randy Orton, and they have crowd sound effects piped into the match. Match starts off very mat-based with submission wear-down moves. Randy Orton winds up getting busted open. Both men end up playing homage to a lot of the greats in this match by hitting the signature moves of other past wrestlers. This was definitely a great match and the greatest match of the night. In the end, it reminded me of ROH's Silas Young wanting a technical match, stating that he's a better technical wrestler than Jonathan Gresham, only to use rule breaking in the end to win the match. Randy Orton ends up using a low blow followed by a punt kick, giving Orton the win. The match lasted about 5 minutes. It's definitely a match you would want to rewatch or have on a DVD. I actually watched the match again before posting this, just to get a feel of how good the match was. Guys, that's it for Backlash 2020. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and that's my review. That wasn't really great or must-see besides the main event, although I thought the Backlash show was okay. On Raw, first thing up, birthday Bayley. On Raw, we start off with Randy Orton claiming greatest ever and not needing a WWE title. He also announces that Edge shouldn't be out until 2029. We get Christian coming out, and Orton says that he wants one more match, and then he challenges Christian tonight in an unsanctioned match. We get more tension with Angel Garza and Andrade, which the Kevin Owens beating Angel Garza. We get more of the Bobby and MVP drama, and then Bobby Lashley says he's divorced. There's more of the Viking Profitness with Tozawa's ninjas, and Big Show seems to want to be a part of the party. It also seems that we're getting an Natalya heel turn coming, and her and Lana seem to have some type of connection, I guess, with a divorced women's stable. R-Truth is just as confusing, and then the Iconics wind up getting a tag team championship match next week if Sasha Banks and Bayley survive Knox and Shotzi Blackheart on NXT. They also continue with the Mysterio and Seth Rollins when Dominic comes out and attacks Rollins. Rey Mysterio is announced to return next week with Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Even though we've seen that Big Show and Christian return, I think the surprise of the night is Ric Flair trying to talk Christian out of facing, only to later low blow Christian when the match was supposed to be taking place. Randy Orton an easy win. Christian is then winds up getting to a stretcher. I don't know if anyone remembers when Orton had IE, but I think they should do a return with that, with Orton always claiming he's sorry and not wanting to do what he's doing. It was already a given that Christian was going to get involved in the Randy Orton Edge feud, and Big Show showing up basically reminds us that he has a show. And I'm wondering how long will it be before Big Show turns heel again. That's pretty much all we got on Monday Night Raw. Again, thank you for everything that you do with likes, dislikes, subscriptions, comments, etc. And stay tuned for more videos in the future.